Ready? We're going to begin this meeting, regular board meeting of the West Valley School Board, August 12th, 2024. Citizens may comment on items appearing on the agenda when invited to participate during that agenda item by the board chair. Citizens may comment on items related to school district business not appearing on this agenda during the public comment portion of the meeting. Citizens, after identifying themselves, will proceed to make comments as briefly as the subject permits. Basic rules of decorum are in effect at all times. The chairperson may interrupt or terminate an individual's statement when appropriate, including when statements are out of order, are too lengthy, breach personal privacy rights, are abusive, obscene, irrelevant, or otherwise improper. The public should realize that this is a trustee business meeting conducted in a public forum. We'll stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Go on to the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, unanimous. Approval of the bills. We have the bills in front of us. Take a minute, maybe look those over. This $4,000 for absence and substitute management. What is that?
That is the system that we use for when teachers are gone, then it'll allow us to put a sub in the room, so that it can be covered, so.
Does that, what is that, bias the program?
Yes, yeah, the online program where teachers put in absences and then the system will call for subs, and then Brooke manages it in the office.
Okay.
Looks like our property and liability insurance was due.
That's a job.
Yeah, he said insurance has gone up a ridiculous amount compared to, even already the higher cost of things, but yeah, insurance is really, really expensive right now. They said we won't be able to find anything better out there. So
Are we still with Pain?
Mhm.
Is it Pain?
same way, yep, it's the, Miss Liv, I think is, yeah, I can't remember what it stands for. I think.
Feels like that's just kind of in the kicker is like our costs are just increasing beyond the increase that we get from the legislature
Yeah.
each year. So it's just the gap's getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
That's true.
This broadband, of course, that's another computer thing.
It's an infrastructure thing. And all of these bills kind of come due at the same time, for fiscal year.
It's the beginning, yeah.
And we did not have to tap into reserves.
Mhm. Yep. That's good news.
Yeah, we did not.
Mhm.
I'll make
Yeah.
a motion to approve the bills.
Second.
Okay, is there any further discussion on the bills? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Correspondence, yes, public participation. Do we have anybody who wants to participate?
Just sign up on the template.
And Maggie, we always track like what the vote record was. That's been kind of like historical.
Yeah.
It's like pretty much always
Yeah.
unanimous with us.
Yeah, that's, I'm writing that down.
Okay, cool.
I did look over old minutes.
Sweet. I figured I'd throw that out there just so
Yeah.
we didn't catch you off guard.
Yeah, see nobody for West Valley Parent Teachers Organization report here. How about West Valley's Teachers Organization, any report? No, okay. Principal report, we may have principal report. We do. And Nicole.
Okay, I did email it to you guys because I don't have the.
All the documents.
Yeah, the truck thing. So,
All right, we'll look at it here.
so yeah, we might have to look at it and get mine then too.
Find one in a classroom.
We just do it on.
Sorry, I didn't think about that.
For our computer.
Okay. So pretty. Makes it exciting.
I have one of those trouble things in my office. That's helpful.
I know, I didn't think about it.
I have it pulled up, so it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright,
I'm
we're
good.
good.
I got it all pulled up too. I'm good.
Perfect.
Of course.
I'll help you a minute. Well. There you go.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, okay.
You didn't look better.
I know. It looks so nice. You need to.
I'm going to- Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry, I should have done this.
Thanks, Sarah.
She might too.
It's the HDMI cable plugged into the TV.
Oh, it's in HDMI out. Oh. How about HDMI one? Good job, Richard.
Add it to the list.
Okay,
Just keep going.
we got it. Okay, perfect. Thanks for your patience. Good. Yes.
Mine is-
Okay, so we just wanted to show you some current numbers, which honestly, these changed even today because we've gotten new registrations and, so this will be changing over the next few weeks. But just down this line, we have the grade levels. And then we broke it up into some numbers for you. So this blue section is the current enrollment with the out of district students present. And then over here are the numbers excluding the out of district kids. And then here is what you can have. So based on the number of teachers that we have right now, this is the max number of students we can have per grade level here and there. So I'll kind of start here. So for kindergarten, for instance, right now we're at 75 students. That is including the 7 out of district kids that have applied. Our goal was to kind of keep those numbers 90% and below before accepting a bunch of out of district students, just so we had room for our, in-district kids move in throughout the year and not go over. You can look here and see that all of these are above 90%. The only 2 grade levels we actually have room in are 7th and 8th grade. If we accept every out of district student, we are over that 90% in every single grade level. So kind of interesting, and you can see which ones were really above in. Second grade is one of them that we are over. So something to kind of look at there. And then if you look over here in the green, this is if we take out all of those out of district students. These are the numbers that we're looking at, and you know, what we can have, what we would have, and then the percentages there. The only one we would be over is second grade. So we're still over in second grade, even without any out of district students. Which really, second grade, we only have 4 out of district kids, so it's also not, you know, huge, but you can see like fourth grade, we have 12 out of district kids, you know, first grade and fifth grade, we have 10. So there are some grade levels that are a lot heavier with those out of district students.
So
So
what are we gonna do with them? I mean, okay, after that new legislation,
yeah,
can we not have them come in? Or do we have to accept?
yeah, and so that's kind of where is kind of, there's a tricky situation that we're in, I guess,
Yeah.
because we are being advised to accept.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to speak on. it,
Sure, I
you
can
can.
speak on this. So House Bill 203 changed a lot of how districts are able to accept or deny out of district kids. In the past, they would just call the office and the office would say, you know, they would know, like, oh, can't take any more in third, sorry. Now you have to put a item in your strategic action plan of your goal of being 90%. The problem though with that is we have a lot of out of district kids that are teachers, you know, kids and that have siblings here. And so there's a priority that they sent out to us to rank that. And so if a kid, you know, is in kindergarten as an out of district student and they have a sibling here, they get priority over someone who has no siblings here, no ties here. So that's really the only way you can deny an out of district application is if you say no, because it violates our strategic action plan goal.
We don't have that.
We do have.
We
that.
do.
We do.
Yeah, we do
There
have
at the 90%.
Yeah.
And the catcher with that
Yeah.
is, yeah, the 90% is in our strategic action plan, but it might not hold up in the long
Yeah,
run.
in the long, yeah, so
The
pretty
legal
much what we've been
route.
legally advised to do is that you just accept as many as you get, but we're getting so full and so big that we can't, you know, we have to do something because it's gonna start affecting the kids who are, you know, here in district
Yeah.
and, you know, deserve to have the school that they do, but
We have some pretty big class sizes with this, you know, particularly third grade, second grade, they're pretty big.
yeah.
So we definitely saw an increase in the number of applications from out of district this year compared to other years.
I would say no, because a lot of, we only had, what was it, 4 families apply, I think, that did not already have a kid here or,
So like, for instance, like the 7 in kindergarten, they all have siblings here. So
yeah,
most of the kids that did apply have those connections and fall onto that list of criteria. I think
criteria.
there were only a few that had 0 connections to our district that,
There were only 2 out of
Yeah.
all of them that didn't have a sibling or a parent working here.
Yeah, yeah, that's a lot of our out of district is, you know,
Okay.
people are, the kids who have been accepted, you know, when we did have room. And then now these are their younger siblings that are coming up because, you know, just the timing of it. And or, yeah, their parent works here. So it's a tough situation for us right now because we don't want to say no out of district, you know, to the younger kids because their, you know, older siblings are here. They fall under that priority as well.
and the problem too kind of lies not only like with the budget side of things, but also just the teacher shortage, you know, looking at
Yeah.
third grade, we're pushing it, getting pretty full. But even if we were to try to hire another teacher right now, I don't think we would be able to find one. So that's kind of another issue that we have to tackle.
So what do we do with second grade? It's over.
we roll with it. We have
Really
our
rush
second grade
about it
teachers
today.
we're gonna crush it, who are just taking it on and.
You wait till you see that data. Richard's actually volunteered.
Yeah. I might, yeah,
Yeah.
it might be.
Second grade superintendent.
Right.
Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at, with some numbers, and we'll continue to update you, and maybe the next board meeting we'll have in September, we'll have more solidified numbers, and we can kind of show you exactly where we're at, because this will increase, it always does, especially right about now, because this is when a lot of parents go, oh yeah, we gotta register our kids. And so,
Yep.
I'm curious to see what this kindergarten number does too. This one's always kind of scary, because it can jump drastically right before school starts.
Yeah, I don't think I've been here a year. We haven't made some sort of adjustment
Yeah,
Grade
kindergarten
level.
is kind of a,
because of a kindergarten either. Yeah,
and
not,
we're already very
Yeah.
close to, becoming full, so it'll be interesting to see where we are with that, but we might have some pretty large classes.
I mean, I think all of our goal is to kind of maintain smaller class sizes, and that is a long-term goal. It's a little bit challenging because of especially when you put on a percentage, is because you get up to 90%, you could add another teacher, but then potentially you'd be down at 65%, which is
Right.
challenging from a budget perspective, because you're not,
absolutely. That happened to us in second grade, actually.
you're not
Yeah.
Don't have a
receiving funding specifically for another teacher.
Right.
It's
Yep.
based on a student count, so there is a balance in there. Potentially this year, I think we're kind of pushing at the high end of the comfort range, definitely, but trying to work that down and manage it. It's not something that I think we accomplish and adjust every year.
Right.
Add and remove teachers or add and remove students, and so you just kind of have to take a longer term view.
We have a classroom issue too, don't we? Like, aren't we full up pretty much?
Well,
or-
not as much as we
Okay.
were before. We actually have a couple classrooms open
Okay.
in the elementary grade that are gonna be used for groups and stuff. So
Specifically, I
huge,
think
but-
we, two of the third grade teachers left, and so that opened up a little extra space.
So hopefully we have the no window conference room open this year. Instead of having-
Funny enough, no. No, actually, that was.
Somebody on over willingly.
Willingly,
Wanted to.
yeah.
It's a bigger room, so it is windowless, but it's bigger, and now she's with her team,
Okay,
so
Mhm.
there's
It's a
pros
decision.
and cons.
right.
Yes.
And there are windows to the hallway, so it's kind of
There-
luxury.
But the other windowless room, is Genter's, that one is empty right now, so.
Yeah.
That, there's. We're gonna use for like skills groups and titles. Yep. Okay,
Ready?
yeah.
So we kind of, we did new staff first. Yeah. New staff. A lot in the middle school. We did hire a paraprofessional on the elementary side. Middle school, we have new fifth grade is Libby Denman. She has a son here. She's been home for the last 8 years, but she has teaching experience from Columbia Falls. She's very excited. We now need a new fifth grade teacher, so that one turned into a question mark. But we're gonna figure that one out. Haley Blanchard moved from STEM to fifth grade. Tori Maurer, she, her student teaching here was paraprofessional here. It's gonna be sixth grade math, literature and social studies. Peter Music, we hired for Laura Browning's resignation, and he has 12 years of math experience. He and I actually taught KMS together, and he taught math, 7th and 8th grade math there, so we're looking forward to having him. Caspian Ashby is a parent of 3 students, and she has a studio art degree and is fluent in Spanish and is super excited to take the art Spanish position, or it will be Spanish. We're gonna have to communicate with parents. We're kind of like in that limbo. And we hired Kenny for a paraprofessional last spring together, so looking forward to having them. And
Michelle Massey, she also has kids here that attend, and we've been in the process. We've actually done quite a few para interviews, but had some things fall through, particularly because of the pay. And so we just had another para interview today. We have 2 more tomorrow. So we've got at least some applications coming in, but that pays not helping people commit to the job. So
Yeah.
we'll hopefully fill those empty para roles that we have though.
Back to school teacher days, we kind of got together over the summer and decided that we really wanted to work on collaboration and, if you're familiar with, high impact teaching strategies, collective teacher efficacy is kind of the highest one that impacts student achievement. And so we kind of made that our focus for our back to school days, just working on it as a district. The objectives we kind of looked at was just to promote ties within both buildings, kind of promote ties with our new staff. I'm working on an onboarding with, I used to do the KEEP program in Calsville, which is their new staff one. So we're working on an onboarding for the new staff program. Kind of introduce the idea of collective teacher efficacy and then move it into the high impact teaching strategies as we go through the year. We are also onboarding Dreambox, which is a personalized learning program that comes free with the new mass training or mass testing system. And so they are coming from Helena to train the teachers on that. It's no cost to us and it's a personalized learning online platform in math and reading. So that should be something that, you know, we should be taking advantage of as well.
And Tanya Jewett, went for a training in person for that, and she let me know that she's really excited, and it sounds like it's gonna be a great option, especially if we don't fill all the para roles. It could be great to kind of help with the title kids and things like that. So I'm actually really excited, and it's free, so that's great news all the way around.
And it's sponsored by Discovery Ed, so they have lots of other things that come with it, like the Mystery Science package comes with it and all of their like online literature and all of their programs. So it's a really good platform for a lot of different things.
And where does it come from again? From the,
It's paid for by the state of Montana because of the mass testing. It kind of came in partnership. If you'll do the new mass testing is the new federal testing. If you do that, then we are eligible to receive the Dreambox platform for free. So
it'll probably cost eventually, but.
yeah,
for now,
but right now,
yeah.
I think originally they kind of had it as an incentive to get pilot schools because you didn't have to do the mass, but now everyone is still tied to it. But you're right. Eventually you probably have to pay for it. So.
But at least we
Take
can test
advantage
it
of
out
it.
and see
Yeah.
how we like it, if it's worth it, so. All right, and then, we just kind of wanted to touch base, we're going to have, an open house, and it's gonna be school-wide, K-8 this year. And, so it's kind of exciting, and I've heard a lot of positive feedback about it. We're gonna start that Monday morning off from 8:30 to 10:30, we're gonna have families, come, that their last name starts from A to L. And kind of looks a little different middle school versus elementary, but for elementary, they can meet their teacher, they can drop off supplies, you know, kind of mingle with other families. We're going to have a truck outside with Italian soda and maybe some coffee so that there's kind of something exciting for families to kind of hang out there too and mingle a little bit. And then from 10:30 to 12:30, you know, the second half of the alphabet will come, and that way too, the whole, you know, we have so many kids with so many families with lots of kids, and so they can just come once and kind of walk around and get the whole gist of it. And for middle school, they get their schedule and their locker and things like that.
And the grade level teams are gonna do presentations during each block so that if you are on 7th grade, you can go to like a 7th grade classroom and listen to all of them for about 15 minutes. So yeah. And the PTO is actually doing the Italian sodas, so that'll be good. Just kind of taking that and running with it, so just lots of good ideas. Yeah,
Great, so. Yeah,
that's all we
kind
have.
of, that's kind of where
Questions?
we're at.
well, thank you very
Thank you.
much.
If anyone knows anyone that wants to teach 5th grade.
All right, thank you. Richard.
Right.
Veterans report.
Jump in, sure. You'll probably notice that we're getting the gym floors done with Gruco. So we went on a walk on each gym and he was showing me exactly where we needed some work done. And based on what they found, he said we could potentially have painting issues that we would need to repaint some things, but it's more like lines on the floor and stuff like that. It's nothing serious. Very, very minor. So he said they look really good for how long they went without being done. So, and with especially how high traffic the gyms are here, especially that big one. So that was good news for once, that we have something going for us like that. Maggie and Shay are working really well together. Shay's been a tremendous help for me in the summer too. And then now for Maggie, she works for MASBO, which is the Montana Association of School Business Officials. And she was the reason why our bills were getting paid still over the summer. Because she essentially just took on, on a lot of stuff. So kind of, interesting to see how that process works too. It was good for me to see some of that. Yeah, and then the maintenance list, I don't know if you guys ever went in and looked at it again, has really come along very well. Phil and Tony and Bridger have been doing a lot of work this summer, and we were able to get the wood chips put in and some border around the playground. Not the whole thing yet, but that's maybe a next year thing, is to try to get border around the whole thing so they stay in a little better. And so you should check it out if you get a chance. Tony painted the boards that were salvageable that were there before. So it's coming along really well. Bridger's doing all the painting around the school that needs to be done. Phil's trying to train him on doing that so that Tony can focus on some other things. Right now he's outside painting the sheds that need to be done. The new drinking fountains were installed in the small gym so that we can use those. The 2 drinking fountains in the big gym now have an ability to fill up water bottles. We had some doors break up in the northwest wing. Phil got that all figured out and fixed without needing to buy anything. So that's good. Tony's working on the flooring up there where we went on our little tour field trip up there. That's coming along pretty well. The ceiling was fixed in that staff bathroom in the north. Not that was a big deal, but yeah. So all things are getting fixed, and getting we did have an issue with the sprinklers over the winter. They broke, and so there was an issue with that. The professional had to come in and help us with that because they were leaking. We couldn't find it. And that's never a good thing. So the grass died up here. The grass died in the football field, but now it's getting back up and getting better again. So yeah, that was parking lot too was done, which was it was really good to get that done. And so next year we'll do the side lots over there, and then the year after that we'll do the playgrounds. So just to kind of cost wise keep it manageable, because it's very, very expensive. So yeah, and staffing of course is an issue. I know I sent an email out about that, and we really this year got to work on doing something in negotiations about the classified schedule. It's really starting to shoot us in the foot. We've lost some good people, and that would have been great. It's just that they can't swing it at the start where it is. So
What's it at right now?
for 1284. That's without the benefits added into it as well, but that's the base, and then there's a 25-cent increase for an AA degree and a 50-cent increase for a bachelor's.
Still, it's not as much as McDonald's.
No,
I talked to somebody
you'd have
today,
to,
pizza place
yeah.
to give 23.
Yeah, last year I looked at it, you'd have to work at West Valley as a para for 11 years to get what you could make starting at Panda Express tomorrow. So it's not gonna work out.
We can do it.
We can't keep doing it. So I know its budget was really, really tight, and I get that, but that's gonna be where we need the most work, I think. Yeah.
How many para positions are still open?
Two.
Yeah.
And you got people that you're interviewing now for that.
Yep. So we should be able, as long as they accept, hopefully we'll be able to fill those positions.
Yeah.
We've done quite a few interviews and then they decide not to take it after.
They
So,
do the calculations.
So that's it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. These, I guess I go back to these three big the gym heating units.
Mhm.
What are we doing with that? Richard?
So right now we're trying to, I called Cal and talked to him about that situation. And he explained to me, I know that Mark didn't like the idea, but doing an intercap loan could work for us. I took a class this summer of facilities, and part of the work in there was to create two different proposals using intercap loan, monies. And it looks like it's something that we could swing. I don't want to say that that's the way we should go about doing it, but while we try to build up the building reserve fund and monies like that, I think we can, that way we can know that they're done, they're fixed. Because right now we're in this situation where it's this limbo, like, oh, if we get another year out of it, let's hope this winter they don't break, which is, it's getting kind of stressful to think about something like that, happening, where if we can, do it now, and then we're able to build up the building reserve to take care of other deferred maintenance around here, because there's been a lot because of money issues. I think it's something that we could consider. I know that word loan sounds a little scary, especially with our reserves, being in the condition they are, where they need to be built up as well. Yeah, I think it's.
What's the lead time on that? Like if we told them today we wanted to replace them, like how?
I think it's almost like, are you talking about installing them or financing? Installing them? I don't know, to be honest. but
Cause
that
I'm
would be-
just wondering, like, if in November they break down or December,
Yeah.
like how long would it actually be? before we got
Exactly.
installed?
We know that
That's a good
things like
question.
that can
Yeah.
take months,
Yeah.
if not
Yeah.
years.
I think we should make it a priority to have, and we talked about this, to have FICO, the company that
Yeah.
is currently servicing the whole system, to come in and do a presentation of options for us.
Oh, okay.
Because there might be, obviously, like you said, there's benefits to doing it and getting it all done. But
Right.
potentially there's some, if they assess the system, there's phased in options that we
Yeah.
could consider as well.
Exactly.
That may kind of get us through. I think, I don't think we should be concerned with potentially a short-term loan, over the next couple of years to do kind of the full,
Right.
repair at this point. We have the additional funds from the general fund levy that we could utilize. We do have a building reserve fund levy that we could utilize. So we have targeted funds that we could use to designate and pay that off and budget that
Correct.
specifically, but it might not be the only option. There could be,
Yeah.
if they come in and give us an idea and some alternatives, maybe there is a way to kind of phase it in over, a year or two. And I don't know, I haven't been up there and looked, and I wouldn't know what to look for.
Right. Yeah.
But there might be the systems that they said, this is what is critical now.
Yeah.
Deal with that. You could deal with this, in 12 to 24 months. But I do think, and I don't know if we should put a committee together to kind of look into that. And I volunteer Mark because he's the only one that might know what to look at.
I wouldn't know what to look at.
I just go look at the
phone number on.
I just go look at. I keep pressing up and it won't. Why is it so cold in here? But I think we should kick it off because I do think the worst scenario for us is to have a failure in the
Yes.
middle of winter
Agreed.
and a potential disruption of school.
Yeah.
And that's a feasible scenario if you have,
Yeah.
critically failing.
Yeah. If you have them all go out at the same time, then
Or-
you're done.
And then you're in an emergent situation, so you're gonna end up paying more and everything else on top of it, so.
And when the heat
Better off to
breaks,
plan.
a lot of other things break too,
Yes,
so it's not really a cost save to put it on indefinitely.
Yeah.
But I think, to your point, I think we should probably kick that off soon, so we could potentially kind of make a decision, get on a schedule. And move forward with at least a plan where we have some comfort before we head into winter on the system and it's,
Yeah.
Can we get the FICO people here, say at our next meeting to talk to us?
well, I would hope so. I
And then
mean,
go
it's-
from there. I mean,
Yeah.
cause that to me is the first step. And then establish a committee to then take what information they give us and working with the budget committee and see what we can do.
I mean, potentially even at the special board meeting, later in
coming up on
August,
the
if we can get
21st.
them to
we can
come.
get him
You know,
coming.
if, I don't know if it'd take more time for them to,
Yeah,
or if they already
Yeah.
know exactly what we need.
I'll just reach out to him,
Uh,
see what we can set up.
Cause it really is the issue of the timing of, even if we decide we want them, they may not be available.
Maybe 6 months from
It
now.
might be, oh, I know we're waiting on some electrical stuff that's been over
Yeah.
6 months, well, years ago, I'm sure.
But then we can factor in all the budget stuff too.
Yeah. Yeah, so the sooner, if we can get them at the 25th meeting, we'll just add that on the agenda along with the budget.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a surprise question, but I keep forgetting to ask. I keep seeing this stuff about like profile of a graduate. I know
Oh,
we
yeah.
kind of talked about that in our meeting with Nicole. Do we have one already?
We have one started because
Okay.
that was the only requirement and so you got kind of a free pass this year on the profile of a graduate. But that's something that Nicole has reached out about with a lot of experience in that. So I think the three of us, the people who are gonna, work on that and get something that's worthwhile in there. Because mine was just kind of what the base stuff that I could get with, working with Maury.
Oh, yeah,
and stuff
last
like
year
that.
was survival.
And that's exactly what she told me. She said, this year you were surviving, next year, well, so I think now with Nicole jumping on board, and Alicia and I with some of the experience that we can bring to, we'll work together.
And they did, the evergreen one is fabulous.
It's unbelievable.
Like the process they did to involve the community and stuff was just like amazing and. It would be a really good
Mhm.
kind of way to like get community input and business input and. Yeah, I was really impressed with theirs. They did the principal in Evergreen, the middle school principal there is new this year as well, but we've worked together and that's I met with her over the summer. And kind of just coming from Kalispell where we all jumped in, not knowing. I kind of can see what we did incorrectly in there that we could not do incorrectly
Yeah.
here.
Right.
Yeah, so,
Sweet.
I'm excited about it. 'Cause I think
yeah,
we're
and
gonna-
when I went to the schools in South Carolina, they have them like on their wall, like when you walk in, they're very cool, very, yeah, impressive, yeah, so.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you will.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Richard. Now the we'll go on to action items. Resignation of Laura Browning. Did you want to address that, please?
Yeah, sure. So Laura reached out and said that she was hired in her home district of Whitefish.
Mm.
So she decided to take that.
Oh, we've already hired a replacement.
Correct. Yep. Which you'll approve later at the meeting.
Right.
Or hopefully approve.
We need a motion to approve resignation of Laura Browning.
I'll make a motion to approve the resignation of Laura Browning.
Second.
Is there any further discussion on that? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Go on to B, resignation of Jessica Levitt.
Yep.
Richard, you wanna?
So she reached out to Nicole and said that she's got a lot going on and that it would be a little too much to take on another year of teaching. So she cited mental health reasons, which, it's a thing, it's a real thing. So that's what she said.
And that's another one, we've replaced it with somebody who will teach part-time Spanish. Okay.
I'll make a motion to accept the resignation of Jessica Levitt.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. New hire recommendations. I wonder if we could do this all as one instead of doing them each individually. So just have a motion to accept all the new hires as we go down. Did you wanna, well, we've already talked about these.
Yeah. And the
So,
principal's report.
yeah, so maybe we could just entertain a motion for the new hire recommendations, all of them, and get them all in at once.
Motion to accept new hire Libby Denman, 5th grade teacher, Tori Mauer, 6th grade math teacher, Kenny Weiss, paraprofessional, Michelle Massey, paraprofessional, Peter Music, seventh grade math, and Caspian Ashby, middle school art and Spanish teacher.
Second it.
Okay, is there any discussion? All right,
I was just gonna say that I think I'm happy that we're gonna have Spanish versus French.
Mhm.
I feel like that's more useful, so I think that's. We'll work out. for the
I'll
better.
second that, though.
why? Yeah, that's a good one.
Being a former French student myself. It's not very useful.
Can order a menu at restaurants, maybe better.
Yeah, not even at the Olympics. No, but all.
That's right, that's right, yeah. it's, Do second grade, sub Spanish, teach fifth grade.
All right, now we just have to try to come up with another fifth grade teacher. As soon as possible. We've got these, so we could have another fifth grade teacher, hopefully, that we could okay at the next meeting. Coming up in a week or two.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, hopefully.
If we don't, I don't know what we're going to do, but
Yeah.
I'll be teaching fifth grade. I'm certified, you know. Yeah, we have a whole classroom of them, so,
Things always seem to work.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and the people that we have gotten for the hires have really, really fit those positions well, so I'm excited that they are.
Somebody out there just waiting for that.
Yeah.
Okay, all those.
We need a second.
I
second it.
I think she said, yeah. Okay, so all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, unanimous. Out of district student attendance agreements, D. That we've talked about that too.
So there's, and you have it with you, there's a
Mhm.
couple, on there that. At student 66 and student 69.
And those denials were just in accordance with our strategic plan.
Yeah,
policy.
strategic plan, yeah.
Okay.
Correct. So. Here we go. I really don't know what the motion would be.
To accept.
I think that would be, yeah, to accept and then what
The
maybe,
proposed plan for student attendance. Sure.
Right?
yeah.
I'll make a motion to accept the proposed plan for the out-of-district student attendance agreements.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. We go on to E, interlocal agreement for transfer of monies to the state CSCT program. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, so we, honestly, we put it on there, because it was on last August's agenda. And what it is it's ability for us to be able to pay CSCT for being here. So it's kind of like, it's not the total, bill thing, because they bill us and then we get reimbursed, and there's a funky process that is really weird in how the state of Montana does it. But that's what this is for us to be able to bring on CSCT.
I'll make a motion to approve the interlocal agreement for transfer of monies to the state with CSCT program.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion on that? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Adding a new clerk to Glacier Bank and Three Rivers account and removing Mark Fessler.
Yeah.
Makes motion to add the new clerk to Glacier Bank and Three Rivers account and remove Mark Fessler.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Okay, special board meet, go on to G, special board meeting on August 21st to approve FY 24 TFS, cash balances, and FY 24 budgets.
Do we need to specify a time in there at all?
I don't,
It wouldn't hurt to put 4 o'clock on there. I think we're gonna pretty much stick to 4 o'clock as a time to make it consistent. But yeah, let's put 4 o'clock on there. Wouldn't hurt. Okay, so special special board meeting on August 21st at 4:00.
I'll make a motion for a special board meeting on August 21st, 2024 at 4:00.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on that? That time we can also, I wonder about we can change the agenda, because this just says a special board meeting to approve. But we may be approving grade teacher, and we may be having the FICO people come talk to us too, so this
Just say and other items.
particular, yeah, there you go, let's add and other items or something, just so we don't get caught up in limiting it to the budget. So we want to amend that and just add in that to approve.
She didn't specify that. She just said the special board meeting,
Okay, so we're,
right? You just said special. board
Yeah, I
meeting.
just
Yeah,
said special
and she
board
said
meeting in my
4:00.
motion. Yeah, 4:00. Yeah.
still,
4:00,
so
we're
we
good.
should be okay with it.
Yeah.
All right, okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, unanimous. Information items, the audit report, that was here, sent to us.
The fun stuff.
Yeah. Fun stuff.
Translate it, please.
Yeah. Well, got some findings from, which is not uncommon, but from the fiscal year ending in 23. So it was from the school year of 22-23. And right now, Maggie and I are gonna work together to make our corrections to the state, which will be done here, and I think it's due by 25th of August. So, yep, it's long. It's really, really long.
But I think that when you look at it, one of the important pieces there is that we've got an unqualified opinion,
Mhm.
which, accounting is always unusual. Unqualified is the best opinion you can get. So, from that standpoint, it is a clean audit. There's things to clean up for sure. It kind of shines an additional light on how important it is to have kind of consistency in that business manager position. So we're hoping Maggie will be our consistent new business manager for a long time. Because that's really what drove a lot of the issues was, it's just misposting into potentially the wrong fund. Now having to correct and reverse and post that correctly. But it's really important that we get this kind of resolved and trued up for the most recent fiscal year end and continue to have it trued up going forward. Because obviously we rely on those interim results to make decisions in regards to kind of what we're going to do or potentially to do a budget amendment or how much we're going to spend for the current budget. So it's something that it's obviously been a challenge to get that resolved. Mark, I think, did a really good job over the last year, getting us a lot closer to being trued up. We had all the meetings over the last year, specifically as he was showing throughout the year, just the reconciliations of the cash balance at the county versus our Black Mountain software to show how a lot of those reconciliations had been trued up, and at least the variance was consistent, identified and consistent. Now what we're doing through this audit is basically attempting to completely reconcile those. So hopefully we're on a better path going forward, a cleaner path, and we'll keep it that way going forward.
I had a question, I don't know if this is probably not part of the audit, but Mark Fessler would reference that, potential fine we were getting, or penalties for,
The IRS.
yeah, so what's?
That was
that's
included in that. That was included in our liabilities.
Oh, so we had to pay that?
We don't. No,
Oh, we don't.
not yet. We don't know yet.
Oh,
That's
still in
still in
limbo.
limbo, but they just still wanted us to put it in liabilities.
By liabilities, we mean findings, right?
Yeah,
Oh, no, by liabilities, yeah,
Yep.
okay, yeah.
But we still don't know for sure.
Right, which I really don't understand that situation. It's been a long, months and months and months that they've had the information,
Almost a year, I think.
probably by now, yeah.
Well, I'd like to thank Jeff and Stephanie for the time they've spent on this budget, working it
Yeah.
this whole year, trying to get this straightened out with Mark. It's been a lot of time,
Yeah.
and Richard, everybody getting that straightened out to the point where now we can see the end where it will be
Yeah. Yep.
consistent, so thank you. Guys for doing that.
And does Masbo then help with the adjustments?
Yeah, Masbo did a lot of the adjustments for us, like, in
Okay.
yeah, that's why I sent her the spreadsheet essentially, and then Shay went in and fixed it all and did everything, so.
Now, that's what I understand what it is, but do we, I should know this, but do we pay it to be part of MASBO, right?
Yes, yep.
Then do we
do.
pay on top of that?
Yes,
For their skills? So when Shay came and worked with Megan for that week, then we paid for that,
correct. Yep, we pay an hourly rate, up to certain number, which was right under $10,000.
which
So,
you could do, so it was okay for you to
right, yep,
do that, and that we would have okayed it anyway to get,
yeah, it's been worth its weight in gold.
yes, where she's been taking care of the books in the interim too.
Yep.
Yes.
So it sounds like you've been able to learn right us alongside Meg.
Yeah, and a
Which
lot of
is
things,
really
which
nice.
is really nice, yeah, yeah, it's been,
Well, and she worked with me, like she was physically here, it was great, but there were things to work on as she left, you know, she said she has the ability to log in remotely, because I'm working on the TFS, and I was able to do the revenues and get that uploaded, but the expenses, there's some issues with some of the expense lines, and so I'll be able to get online with Shay and get those, sorted out so that I can enter the Mayfairs.
She can put her, you can put what you can get the same information on both computers and she.
Yeah, she can just literally log into my computer and get there, so.
Yeah, I
Um,
think that's a really good relationship to build over the
Yeah.
course of the year, especially as Maggie's just,
yeah.
you know, getting on, learning, making sure that we're doing things right. So I'd encourage you guys to continue to contact those. And if we hit up against that expense threshold, let's think about another
Extension.
potential extension or allocation there to make sure that we have the support. I think that's a lot of what got us into a challenge
Mhm.
last time was the budget constraints and the lack of kind of doing stuff like that. But I
Right.
think we're in the situation now where we should definitely focus on.
well, and she's the very first one I'll ask for, you know, but then if she doesn't know, she's a great resource to say, well, you need to contact this person from OPI
Mhm.
and that's been very helpful, just to know where to start is really what it is. So. She did say that our Black Mountain balances are not the same as the counties.
Correct.
So, we started our TFS and our budget with the county numbers. And then after we get the TFS done and the budget set for the year, she and I are gonna try to dig through why Black Mountain is not on. And then it may be a situation down the line if we can't figure it out. How far back it goes, how far back it's off, is that maybe Black Mountain does a hard reset and sets it to where the county says our numbers are, because they are probably accurate,
Well, that's the money that's there.
right? Right? That's that's why I say they are probably accurate. It's somewhere along the coding.
How far are we off? How many thousands are you talking or hundreds?
That I don't even know.
That's
Because-
what Mark was showing us that's been consistent over time, the
Right.
county, that reconciliation.
Okay, so that's the money we're talking about.
And so when we say off, you know, you get, it'll be off in a specific fund. There's obviously a lot of different fund postings and noise through COVID with the stimulus funds. And so,
Yeah.
again, it's not indicating we have a clean, unqualified audit. It's not
Right.
indicating that any funds were, you know,
Mismanaged. or-
mismanaged or snuck anyway. It's just trying to reconcile between those different funds, some of which are been closed out, you know, on the different phase of ESSER funds. And so really it's trying to just clean up those postings that were potentially to a wrong
Right.
fund and get things balanced to where they are, so.
Or were something, you know, something that the county has that we may not have been put into Black Mountain.
Correct, exactly.
That's where we need to,
Oh,
where we'll need to go through the county records versus what we have. So,
and you're going back years
that will be after
after, yeah,
the, TFS and the
Right.
budget.
after the meeting on the 23rd.
Yep.
Okay. All right. That was just discussion, no action item. So, and then the handbook,
Yeah, so I
Um,
put that on there because we haven't really looked at the handbook in a while, and so I know that Nicole and Alicia have been looking at the handbook and myself, and we're gonna update what we can of it and then get it out to staff and yeah. But I just wanted to let you guys know that that work was going on.
Mhm.
Because it's been a while since we've actually had the teachers sign it. It's been many years. I think 2021 was the last time that we did. And we're technically supposed to have the staff sign that they've read the handbook and they, don't have anything that would to make it so they couldn't work here type thing, so.
I can remember last year, Peter was standing before us with issues in the handbook.
Yeah. That was probably the middle school
Right.
student handbook.
Yes, it was.
Yep. Yep.
But this is the overall.
Yeah, and student one too. I know the middle school one was needing a little bit of work, but Tina did a lot of work on that one too. Yeah, the handbooks were a lot of work when I first got here because they were very, very outdated and yeah, they hadn't been looked at in a very, very long time. So, and the formatting was not good.
Mm.
So I cleaned that one up and took a couple of years to actually get that one down to where it is.
So those will be ready for presentation to the parents at this open house.
Yeah, I think the student one will be fine, and then the staff one, we usually got those back by late September.
Do we okay those or not?
Yeah, I think it would be a good idea.
I-
for you to
I
just-
thought that because they were presented to us and we read them and
Mhm.
as I
Yep.
can remember.
The board typically
discussions
approves the handbooks.
on some of these, so before we hand them out, we need to
Mhm.
Yep. Go through them along with the staff, right?
Yeah, yep.
So that we have a chance to maybe look them over to and put a little, make a little input, whatever.
Yeah.
So will that be coming up soon too then?
Yeah, I think that'll be maybe by the September meeting. We'll be good with that. I think we can do
So
that.
there won't be, so the students will begin this school year without an up-to-date handbook?
No, it's fine the way it is right now. The handbook is. The one that we're focusing more on is the staff handbook. So the student one is the one that we've been doing a lot of work on over the years. And so that one, we don't need to touch that one.
So we're gonna take the same one that we talked about last year.
Yeah.
And that'll be the student handbook.
Yep.
And the staff, okay, gotcha.
So
So you
anything
do
that
have a,
changes the schedule.
Yep.
Because our schedule changed, but everything else.
Everything related to policy.
That's what I didn't understand. So it's the staff handbook
Yes.
that you're discussing. That doesn't have to be done at a particular point,
No.
just as soon as we can.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, thank you.
Yep.
I think.
Is that it?
That's that you want to- think so.
Second that.
All right.
Who made that motion? I mean, everybody did, but.
That's the one everybody jumps in.
Who seconded?
I think both of you just did it at the same time.
I was quiet because I was shocked that we're getting out of here in an hour and 10, like not yet, an hour.
Be here
basically.
when
We started, like, okay, all those in favor? Unanimous.
And then I think you can stop the recording.
Oh, yeah.
I got to thinking.
Oh, I saw that on there. And then I finished that one section that was so pretty. I felt